So, while browsing a game website one day, there was some article about some video game with furries in it, and the usual argument over blah blah blah, furries suck, or that kind of stuff. So, I was looking around, and I see a post stating that one of the problems that they should be arguing about is the fact that there are many crappy things with furries thrown into them. And they mentioned this game made by Renard, the well-known furry artist who's only popular because he puts furries on his album covers and has like 4 trillion aliases. But anyways, he does have a point though. For example, go on Furfinity or DeviantArt and you'll see all those poorly drawn pictures with any subject matter into them. You can insert anything from fetish or character or something, and it'll get popular just due to having said fetish / character or whatever. But I did not want to make this video as a critique of the furry fandom or every single fandom in a nutshell pretty much. So instead, I'm just going to review the game. Because after all, let's face it, this guy actually made a game in Multimedia Fusion. And let's face it, it blows. The first part about this game you'll notice is that this was made in Multimedia Fusion. And as we all know, Multimedia Fusion was used to make some amazingly bad games, such as Freedom Planet or Sonic Before the sequel. The second thing you'll notice, they wanted $8 for this game. Think about that for a second when you're watching the gameplay footage of this. They wanted $8 for this. The first thing you'll notice is the extremely ghetto screen setup window. That's right, this is one of those games where you have to click a button here just to set the screen up. I mean, this was a Multimedia Fusion game. So while you look at this game and get the vibe that this came straight out of DeviantArt, you'll realize that he just copy-pasted the plot because he really didn't give a shit and was trying too hard to make a homage by ripping it off, just like how his remixes are terrible. So you look at the game and you'll know, with a title like Shark Attack, it's really gotta be original, just like his remixes are. And of course, you've got 2 control settings, one for arrow keys and one for WASD. There's no other way to map it. There's just WASD and those emulator style controls used for your favorite Genesis / Super Nintendo / Game Boy / every single other emulator ever made controls. So they do cater if you're one of those kids who wants it mapped the same way as their Game Boy emulator, which they play Pokemon on. But anyways, you notice that even though they can put a really high quality DeviantArt picture, the game has some crabby retro 8-bit look. That's right, or 16-bit look. Or more like try-hard 16-bit look, because that's what the game looks like. The backgrounds are very bland and the bullets blink all the time to make it really painful to look at, especially against the background, which is a dumb idea. The hit detection is god-awful. Your bullets will fly through enemies a lot, while other times you don't know where the hitbox is, even though it's supposed to be your head, and even when you're focusing, the controls feel sluggish, so you'll have a hard time dodging stuff. And did I mention that the bullets, even though they can fly through your body and your hitbox is the head, it's not really clear, so it can be confusing because sometimes a bullet will miss the hitbox, like once a bullet hit me in the legs and I died, while other times they'll float right past through you. So the game is really inconsistent about what it considers a hitbox. It's really obvious not much time and effort was put into this game other than, oh my god, 8-bit to appeal to its true target audience at the local Anthrocon. Because, the creator hasn't even put it on Greenlight or whatever the cool thing is today. But anyways, yeah, the enemies are bullet sponges too and will take a ton, while the background does loops. Unlike later games like DoDonPachi, where you actually feel like, or even DoDonPachi, the first one, you feel like you're actually doing something. This game has you float against the one same background over and over again, forgetting all the advances and shmups that have come since the 90s, from not just bullet hell shmups, but like You know the shmups where you actually, instead of flying against the same background, you actually feel like you're doing something? There is also a harder mode which just spams more enemies nearly, and a locked mode which requires you to enter a code nobody knows because the creator hasn't even bothered to put it up on his website, nor has anyone bothered to play this unplayable mess to the last level, because that's pretty much what this is. There's a difference between hard and unplayable, and this game falls on the unplayable side, because that's pretty much what this game is. The music. Do I even need to mention the music? It sounds just like Renard's music, in that it sounds like a broken inkjet printer, but it sounds like he grabbed the Genesis sound font off Google just to make it sound like a Genesis trying to imitate a broken inkjet printer, because that's pretty much what this game could pretty much sound like. None of the soundtracks and songs are memorable, and you'll end up trying to... They're not even so bad it's funny like, say, some of Sonic 06's tracks. No, these are bad as in ear rape. That's pretty much what the game is. Ear rape. The game. And yet, I've seen people go like, this game is awesome because it's got a mayhem in it. This is a good game. XD. No, it's not a good game. And even then, there are better games with furries in them, even though most of them weren't made by the furry fanbase. I mean, I really hope that at some point there are some furries out there. I mean, I know Dust was made by a furry and that game was good, but then there's, on the other spectrum, you've got games like this, just like with furry art. On one end, you've got good stuff, and on the other end, you've got crap like Sabrina Online or other bad webcomics, or this other webcomic I forget the name of, but it had the art style of Christian Weston Chandler trying to draw gore and stuff. I mean, seriously, if there can be good games made about cannibalism, which there actually are, there's a game on PS2 called Digital Devil Saga. That game's got cannibalism and it's better than this game. If they can make good games about cannibalism, then why can't they make a good game with furries in it? I mean, it kind of makes me wonder, I mean, what's up with gaming? Either way, this game is just terrible. I mean, seriously, not only does it try too hard to be like shmups when the genre has evolved, and this feels not only like it's trying too hard to be bad, but many aspects of the gameplay aren't very good, such as the hitboxes. Did I mention they don't even tell you about a training mode until you die? Which makes you wonder why they should just put that on the main menu for some reason. Either way, don't waste your time even pirating this, because if you pirate this game, it's just not even worth it. I mean, because you know a game is good when not only do they have a locked character you can't even unlock, but when they blow all their budget in getting the voice actor of Duke Nukem to read aloud their trailer. Yes, they seriously did that. And that's all you need to know about this game. And this game is funny because guess what happened with Duke Nukem? His game bombed. Everybody remember what happened to Duke Nukem Forever? Gearbox made it and that was like a total dud, just like this game is. So yeah, don't waste your time even playing this game. Go play like better shmups like DoDonPachi or the DoDonPachis or anything from Cave or Psycho or all the better companies who can actually code a game and not have a stupid hitbox guessing thing. I mean, maybe I would have understood if this game was trying to imitate those, but no, it's one of those small hitbox games where, I mean, it's not a big hitbox game like Psycho's games are, so that's why the hitbox is so confusing. It's just unplayable. Don't buy this game, save your money, and go get a better game like DoDonPachi. That game just destroys this. Or Akai Katana, yeah, that's a game made by Cave, which is also a side-scroller, but it's a lot more fun, and it actually has bullets on the screen, like tons of them. So get that game or something else. Thanks for watching, subscribe for more.